seeing him at work versus seeing him at home, was the two different versions?
Yes, yeah. It was a very interesting dynamic because when I started to do my apprenticeship with my dad, I would be working with him, and then we'd get in the car together, and then we drive home together. And I always remember like driving home after I've had like a bad service or he's told me off or something. And then I have to get up the next day and then do that again. It's quite interesting and quite difficult at times.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know. For me, it's just my normal. But then when I tell other people, they're like, "Oh, that must have been so hard." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From both aspects.
Yeah.
I don't think my dad realized maybe how challenging that was for me as well. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I have a good relationship with my dad. He taught me the basis of cooking, But sometimes we fell out and it was hard,
Yeah, of course.
Because I think as well, like I run plates with my sister now, and I think if like a friend or somebody else says something to you, exactly the same thing that your dad or your sister would say, it wouldn't annoy you the same, but it annoys you differently if you like know that person on a deeper level. So like, like little things that my dad would say would annoy you more than if just that someone else said it. So yeah.
And going into a kitchen for a first time at that level of apprentice, right? Starting to learn and actually be taken seriously. Do you kind of remember that time? Was it a fond memory going into that level?
Yeah, it was. I don't think I really started. I was quite a young teenager.
Right.
I'm not saying I was immature, but I was, I wasn't the most mature at 16.
Right, okay.
You're a little bit cheeky still and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it was kind of, okay, now you have to like focus and you have to concentrate and you have to put in work. So yeah, it was kind of a big transition. And I think the even bigger transition when I moved to London at 20, after being up north. And that was a real like, holy shit. You know what I mean? What's interesting up north is in that kind of area is the atmosphere and the type of people. It's softer, it's more friendly.
Yeah.
It's different. Everyone says morning. People look at each other in the eye and they say hello, and you get on a bus and you're speaking to the grandma behind you.
Yeah.
And then you get on a tube in London and you're like, whoa, why is no one even looking at each other?
It is weird, isn't it?
Why, if I smile at that person, I'm the bad person for smiling?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, you look a bit creepy, or you look.
Yeah, exactly. I do it on purpose now. Sometimes I purposely like go on a tube and see how many people I can smile to, and see how many people I get to smile back, because it's bizarre, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
So that was really difficult for me. That transition and getting into a London kitchen compared to that was a lot more intense, a lot more physically demanding, no thank yous and no pleases, and it was just like hardcore. You know what I mean?
Did you, so going as 20, you came down to London?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the plan of like, I need to go to London to take the next step. Was that kind of the feeling you had?
It was more, I worked for a chef called Phil Howard at the Square, and he was one of my dad's best friends at the time. He used to cook at a food festival my dad created called Obsession. 25 years ago he created it, and Phil Howard did the first 10 years. So when I was an apprentice, every year Phil would be there cooking, and his food was just, at that time, was just probably the best in the UK.